A census by the European Statistical Institute has found that as of the end of 2023, 1 in 4 children under the age of 18 was at risk of poverty.
유럽연합 통계기구인 유로스타트가 최근 발표한 보고서에 따르면 지난해 기준 EU 내에 18세 미만 인구 4명 중 1명이 빈곤 위험에 처한 것으로 집계됐습니다.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
So this study conducted by Eurostat, what it did was it looked at children under the age of 18, factors such as, their capacity to pay bills, the family, the household that they live in, just basic payments for basic utilities, rent, the ability to heat your home, or whether an adult even has 2 pairs of properly fitting shoes. So this is the level of poverty we're talking about. And if you break it down by country, Romania, Spain, and Bulgaria were at the bottom. Well, I guess it's the top of the list for this child poverty ranking. On the other side, it was Slovenia, Finland, and the Netherlands at about 14%. So there's a big gap there in terms of countries within this one continent. The major Eurozone economies also have the highest number of children at risk of poverty. We're talking France and Germany, both just over 3.5 million under 18. But there is one silver lining. There's one encouraging stat in that this number has slightly declined, 0.1 percentage points compared to last year, meaning that's a slight improvement in conditions for about 100,000 individuals.
Yeah.
And, you would think that these major economies would have good situations for children because the children are the most vulnerable in our society. And I think any society should do their utmost to help this class.
Absolutely. I mean, poverty does still exist in these developed countries and, in the EU, in America, wherever it might be. But oftentimes it's not talked about quite enough.
Especially child poverty.
Child poverty, yes. Well, all of this has been revealed through a census.
Yep. A census is basically a tally, a counting of a number of a population.
Yeah.
And a government census is conducted every 5-10 years to basically count not just population but other social statistics.
그렇죠. 자, 인구 조사 이걸 영어로 한 단어 census라고 합니다. CENSUS. If you're at risk of something, I should say. What does that mean?
Yeah, if you're at risk of something, you're exposed to harm or danger of something. Here we're talking about children who are at risk or at danger of falling into poverty.
네, 그렇습니다. 뭐뭐의 위험에 처했다. At risk of something. Here's the headline again. A census by the European Statistical Institute has found that as of the end of 2023, 1 in 4 children under the age of 18 was at risk of poverty. Let's move on to the next headline.
A bucket containing 150 food pouches with a shelf life of 25 years has become a hit among U.S. shoppers concerned about natural disasters and an unpredictable future.
미국에서 유통기한이 25년인 150인용 비상식량 박스가 출시돼 자연재해 및 예측 불가능한 미래를 걱정하는 소비자들 사이에서 큰 화제가 됐습니다.
Yeah.
25 years?
Yeah, they sell this at a big warehouse, a popular warehouse that also exists here in Korea, membership-only warehouse retailer. And it made headlines. I saw this in a different outlet, but it contains foods like chicken Alfredo pasta, vegetables, teriyaki rice, cheesy macaroni. But I think the fact that this is being sold is more an indication of the sign of the times, perhaps. People are very uncertain about whether it be natural disasters, political future, I imagine, maybe. But a 25-year shelf life, that means these foods, do they have a lot of preservatives, I'm assuming?
I would imagine so.
I remember back when I'd go visit my grandmother's house in the 80s, they would have, she would have MREs. Do you know what these are? Meals ready to eat from the U.S. Army, the military. And you could buy these on the black market here in Korea. But they're foods that are literally stored in pouches. And you just open them and you can eat them just as is. And they're pretty delicious, in fact. But you see these MREs or these food pouches that are handed out in humanitarian situations.
Right.
Humanitarian aid is dropped from helicopters at times, but this food bucket is becoming a big hit apparently.
그렇죠. 이런 비상식량은 사실 빨리 상하면 안 되죠. 언제까지 먹어야 될지 모르고 오래 보관해야 되고. 그래서 이제 좀 보통은 뭐 몇 년, 이 정도의 쉘프 라이프가 있는 것이 우리가 지금까지 생각한 비상식량인 것 같은데 요거는 뭐 25년이라는 유통기한을 가지고 있어요.
And it's a big bucket. You have a big
그렇죠.
variety of selection.
네,
of
맞아요. 한
foods.
150가지의
Yeah.
음식이 들어있다고 하는데 이거 이제 우리말로 그냥 150인분이라고 표현을 했습니다만 그러니까 그만큼 많은 양의 음식 또 굉장히 오랫동안 먹을 수 있는 것들이 들어있는 패키지 이게 인기랍니다.
Yeah, we saw during the coronavirus pandemic, you know, after natural disasters, where people could go days without food or power or electricity, and it is really a concern.
Yes.
We keep some water just in case
Yeah,
the power
exactly.
goes out.
Yeah, remember those stories about people going to the supermarket and finding nothing on the shelves?
Exactly.
You know, no toilet paper, no water, no whatever.
Yeah.
But I guess now they want to be prepared in
Yep.
case something like that happens again. So what's shelf life?
Yeah, the shelf life of something is the expiration or the length of time that an item remains suitable or fit to be used or consumed.
네, 그래요. 이게 우리가 보통 이렇게 그 매장 선반 shelf라는 단어를 들으면은 이게 그 판매와 관련이 있다라고 생각하실 수 있어요. 그래서 something was flying off the shelves. 그러면 불티나게 팔렸다.
Right.
As it was removed from the shelves. 그러면 더 이상 판매하지 않는다. Or it returned to the shelves. 그러면은 다시 판매하기 시작했다. 근데 shelf life는 유통기한입니다. 유통할 수 있는 기한이죠. 유통기한. 자, concerned about something.
Yeah, when you're concerned about something, you're anxious, you're worried, distressed, troubled, like the gentleman that was locked in the bathroom, I'm sure was feeling very uneasy.
Yep.
But concerned is a funny word where as a phrasal verb, you can say concerned about something, you're concerned with something. You can be concerned by something,
Sure.
for something. So they all pretty much mean the same thing, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Concerned about라고 여기서 했지만 뭐 concerned with라고 할 수도 있고요. 지금 얘기하신 여러 가지로 바꿀 수 있는데 무엇을 걱정하고 염려하는 겁니다. Here's the headline again. A bucket containing 150 food pouches with a shelf life of 25 years has become a hit among US shoppers concerned about natural disasters and an unpredictable future. Now here's our next headline.
BTS member Jimin has taken the number one spot on the iTunes Top Songs chart in 112 regions worldwide with Who, the lead track of his second solo album Muse.
그룹 방탄소년단 멤버 지민이 두 번째 솔로 앨범 Muse의 타이틀곡 Who로 전 세계 112개국 아이튠즈의 톱송 차트에서 1위에 올랐습니다.
Yeah, they're still, despite them conducting their military service, they're still putting out music.
Yeah.
And good music, it seems like. Just another day, a BTS member is hitting the charts, the global charts.
Yeah.
And this time it's Jimin, who is doing his military service.
Yeah.
This lead track off his second solo album was released last Friday, and it topped charts in the US, Britain, Canada, Germany, among other countries. The album, it's a story of Jimin's effort to find love and the ordeals he faces along the way, according to his agency.
Okay.
He's scheduled to be discharged from military service in June of next year. So in the meantime,
Okay.
fans can enjoy a lot of his music.
네. 제대는 내년 6월이군요. He is scheduled to be discharged in June next year. 이 Who라는 곡이요. The lead track of his album입니다.
Yeah, so back in the day when we bought albums and CDs, the lead track is the main track that usually has the same name as the album. We also say title track.
Yep.
But title track has a different sort of connotation. I think in Korea it's been known as the one song. It's what we normally know as a single that's promoted
Right.
more, regardless of the song's title. So in the Korean music industry, it's a term used to describe a promoted song on an album, similar to a single.
보통 앨범에서 제일 먼저 홍보하고 공개하는 그 노래를 lead track라고 합니다. 그래서 곡이 몇 곡이 있느냐, 몇 개의 track가 있냐 이렇게 얘기를 하죠.
And it's not just music. When we had DVDs, you would
yes.
skip tracks. You
그렇네요.
can fast forward to a different track.
That's right. 자, 그리고 이 앨범이 솔로 앨범인데요. Tell us about the word solo.
Yeah, it means alone, of one person. Musical performance
Yep.
without any accompaniment would be a solo. Solo, there's a misnomer here in Korea. If you say I'm solo, that means you could say I'm going solo to a party.
Yeah.
That means you're going by yourself.
Yep.
But normally you would say I'm single.
맞아요. 솔로는요, 혼자서 한다라는 뜻입니다.
Yeah.
그래서 솔로 앨범, 솔로 퍼포먼스 이런 건 다 되는데 I am solo.
Yeah.
그러면은 이게 말이 안 돼요, 영어로는.
Yeah.
혼자 뭘 한다는 거야? I am single이라고 해야 됩니다. 내가 만약에 연인이 없다는 말을 하고 싶으면.
Yeah. It also, you could say that I am solo, you're kind of by yourself.
Yeah,
It
I'm
does
going
have-
solo is
I'm
okay.
going solo,
yeah,
right?
I guess people would understand, but
Yeah.
it's not the normal way to say.
Or you're isolated, perhaps. I am solo, but you wouldn't say it in that in a normal context.
맞아요. 예, 보통은 나는 지금 만나는 사람이 없어라는 말을 하고 싶을 때는 I'm single
Yeah.
하고 그 외에 나 혼자서 뭐뭐 한다라는 말을 할 때는 솔로로 붙여서 뭘 하는지 얘기하시면 됩니다.
Yeah, you could say I'm a solo diner. If you
Yeah,
go to a restaurant, oh, how many people in your party? Oh, I'm a solo diner today.
저 혼자 먹으러 왔어요. 이렇게. 자, 다시 한번 헤드라인 읽어보겠습니다. BTS member Jimin has taken the number one spot on the iTunes Top Songs charts in 112 regions worldwide with Who, the lead track of his second solo album, Muse. 자, 여기까지가 저희가 원래 준비했던 헤드라인인데요. 밤사이 특보가 하나 들어와서 저희가 전해드리도록 하겠습니다. 바로 미국의 대선 구도가 확 바뀌었다는 소식인데요.
Bonus headline.
네, 알려드리겠습니다.
U.S. President Joe Biden has withdrawn from the presidential race after weeks of mounting pressure from Democrats.
네, 조 바이든 미국 대통령이 수주간 민주당 내 압박이 이어진 끝에 미국 대선 후보직을 전격 사퇴했습니다. 이제 4개월밖에 안 남았거든요. 대선까지 11월 5일이죠.
Yeah.
네, 그런데 이제 그동안 사실 건강 상태도 안 좋았고 가장 최근에는 코로나도 걸려서 그래서 원래 스피치 하려고 했던 것도 취소하고 그런 여러 가지 건강상의 문제 또 현재 또 최고령 대통령이잖아요.
Yeah. This pressure it really started to mount after the debate.
Yes, with Trump.
With former President Trump,
Yes.
Several weeks ago. I believe it's 20-something odd days ago that this
Yeah,
happened, and
yeah.
a lot has happened. That pressure really got to him, I imagine, and the Democrats are now. In his statement, President Biden he released over social media,
Sure.
fully endorsed his vice president Kamala
Right.
Harris as the next candidate
Right.
to run in this upcoming presidential election. So what happens now is when the Democrats put on their convention, the delegates will have to sort of coalesce and congregate towards Kamala Harris in trying
Right.
to beat Donald Trump in the race.
네. 자, 그러니까요. 바이든 대통령이 이번 이제 11월 5일에 있을 대선에 후보로 나가지 않겠다. 그래서 후보직을 사퇴한 것이고요.
Yeah.
그렇다면 민주당 후보가 누구냐? 아직까진 정해지지 않았습니다. 그렇지만 바이든 대통령이 일단은 전격적으로 VP, Vice President인 카말라 해리스를 지지한다, endorsing 한다라고 발표를 했고요. 그렇지만 이제 민주당 내에서 골라야 돼요. 이제
Yeah.
아마 뭐 며칠이나 몇 주간의 과정을 통해서 좀 누가 민주당의 후보가 될 것인가, 누가 과연 리퍼블리칸 파티의 트럼프와 맞서서 싸울 것인가 이걸 고르게 될 건데 뭐 전문가들에 의하면은 한 4명 정도가 제일 유력하다고 해요. 카말라 해리스, 그레첸 위트머, 가빈 뉴섬, Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah.
이 정도가 지금 언급이 되고 있는데 잘 모르겠네요, 아직까지는.
It'll be Kamala Harris. I'll
You
put
think
my
so?
money on
You
that
think
for
so?
sure because
Ah.
there's not enough time right now for the Democrats to
시간이 많이 없긴 해요.
sort of go through the vetting process of any other candidate, and it's a natural decision to put Kamala Harris in there. I think
Yeah,
because
yeah.
she is the vice
The
president
VP.
right now,
Yeah, she's
and
the VP.
her role is to step in case anything happens with the president.
네,
so
그렇습니다.
I don't think there'll be any surprises there.
네. 그래서 바이든 대통령은 이제 그 남은 POTUS President of the United States, POTUS로의 남은 한 6개월 동안의 기간을 정말 충실히 내가 임하겠다 이렇게 발표를 했고요. 대선 주자로서는 이제 물러서겠다라고 발표를 했습니다.